Hello, everybody, and welcome to another one of these SA Smart Chats. As you probably know by now, my name is Natasha Wilkerson. I am the co-chair of SA Smart, the Mayor's K-12 Smart City Challenge. We have another expert for you on this topic of water, and I'm really excited to talk to Karen. Oh, now I'm going to get it wrong, Karen. Karen, you say your name.
Karen Guz.
Guz. Okay, I need it. So, Karen, you are the Director of Water Conservation for SAWS, or the San Antonio Water System. So, in this role, you lead a team that deploys conservation programs for residential, industrial, and institutional customers, resulting in over 1 billion gallons of savings each year. Outside of SAWS, Karen has served on roles that include the TCEQ Irrigation Advisory Council, the Smart Water Applications Team of the Irrigation Association, the board of the Alliance for Water Efficiency. Karen is currently the presiding officer for the Water Conservation Advisory Council, which provides input on conservation progress for the Texas legislature. So you are really involved in all things water conservation. I also see you have a Bachelor's of Science from the University of Michigan and a Master's of Public Administration from the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. And you have a Texas irrigation license for the last 15 years. Welcome, Karen, to SA Smart.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so I am excited to talk to you because we've talked to a bunch of different experts, and this theme of conservation has come up a few times. But why is SAWS, who's in the business of selling water, care so much about conservation? That seems to be kind of a bad business strategy.
Well, that is a great question. I love it when people ask it because if all you were concerned about as a water utility is bringing in money tomorrow, you'd want your sales to be just as high as possible. You'd want to get
Right.
as much water as possible and sell it.
Right.
Now, fortunately, our community leaders for over 20 years have been thinking the long game. And in the long term, the realization that our community leaders had over 20 years ago is that every new water supply that we can possibly get to meet our future populations is going to be really expensive. And so it is less expensive to save water as long as we can do the same things we did before and have a great lifestyle. The business proposition they give my team is save water cheaper than it's going to cost us to go out and get more. And then at the same time, we're benefiting the environment, keeping more water in our rivers and streams. And frankly, we give our customers who are motivated an opportunity to keep those water bills low.
So in the end, it is actually an effective business strategy. So
It
it's
is. You just have to think past today to
mm.
future, to the fact that our population is going to grow and we're going to have droughts. And so the most cost-effective thing we can do is use every drop of water we've already got as efficiently as we possibly can.
And how good is SAWS at being efficient in water conservation? Are there maybe some challenges that you're still facing?
Well, we've done a lot in over 20 years of trying to invest in water conservation. Our community has just been great about it. You know, over half of SAW's customers have used at least one conservation program at least one time. That's amazing. And we've dropped our per capita consumption just about in half over that time. So you might think, okay, you're done. There can't possibly be more to do. But here's the truth. We're Americans. Americans have been used to wonderful resources and energy, power, all kinds of natural resources in our fabulous country. Other countries use a lot less water than we do per capita.
Hmm.
We know that we can still get to be much more efficient than we are today.
And I see behind you some landscaping. So let's talk about that because it's come up in another one of these talks about that's a place to conserve water. So why can't we just pass a law and say you can't water your plants all day, every day?
Well, we do have some laws that are really good. One of the things that's common sense that I tell people about all the time is in San Antonio, it's against the law to waste water. Nobody ever argues with that, which is great. But we use three strategies to save that really works to bring people on board. The first is that we got to get them to care. We educate people and get them hopefully invested in using water efficiently. Because here's the truth of it. You can't pass a law and have it work if most people don't agree with that law. So that's key. The other thing we do is we incentivize logical things when we can do it in a cost-effective way. So we get them to change out that landscape. We give them a little bribe that they think they can't turn down to get them to change it. And then the last thing we do is maybe have a rule that says, you know what, we're in stage 1 of a drought. Here's your watering day and your time, and we really mean it. So it's a combination of things that brings the community together and really gets things to work.
And for the students that are listening, their task is to pick a specific problem related to water. So if they choose
Mm.
this water conservation route, I'm thinking there's the civics option. We talked about policy change, but
Mm-hmm.
also changing the customer. And it sounds like that's what you're proposing. There's things that customers can do in what they plant, how they plant it. So, what are some other things that students can think about if they want to tackle water conservation?
Well, there are a lot of interesting things that we just haven't gotten to do yet in our community. There's new technology out there that can monitor your home use almost by the second and
Wow.
then bring it up on your cell phone so you can see how much water you're using, say, right now. That's very interesting. We still lose a lot of water to leaks that could be repaired. I've wanted for years to have a team of students develop an app that would help them even go around to their schools. I'm probably going to irritate the facilities people and calculate just how much water is lost to those dripping faucets and running
Ooh.
toilets and other things that you can find shockingly easily around San Antonio and facilities like schools and all over the place. There's a lot of ways that that motivated young people could either get the word out on programs we have, help improve adoption of technology, like I mentioned, or tackle something that seems obvious that maybe you could get people to care about, like those wastes due to leaks.
Yeah, and part of this is a very local problem. So I love that suggestion on if students want to just look at water consumption in their school and what are
Hmm.
some leaks and ways that their school can conserve water. That would be a perfect challenge. So if you're watching this video, you get a little leg up as an idea for this Essay Smart competition. So that's really great. I want to switch here a little bit to more of a personal question. How did you get into the business of water and water conservation?
I got lucky. I'm just going to be honest about that. When I was in college, this job is one I'd never heard of. And I have
Sure.
young people ask me sometimes, that's a cool job. And yeah, I got very lucky with the job I have. I love what I do. But I was interested in science. I liked science when I was in college. And I knew that I wanted to probably be in some form of public service and advocacy. And that's why I went for that master's in public administration. And when I came to San Antonio, water conservation turned out to be a pretty big issue here. And I got very fortunate that there was an opening at SAWS, and I have been there for about 20 years and really enjoyed every year of it.
It's been great talking to everybody at SAWS because I feel like you all share a passion. It's a very mission-driven organization, and the more I hear about it, realizing how important this issue of water is and just how complicated. And one of the biggest challenges, it seems like SAWS is doing a lot of great things, but people may not even be aware of it. And just doing these like short interviews, I've learned so much, and that could be another angle for students. You mentioned some conservation programs. How do we get the word out? How do we tell, kids about it?
Well, there's a lot of research that shows that the more engaged people are about water, the more they save. That's not rocket
Mhm.
science, right? If you're paying
Yeah.
attention to something, you do better at it. And for young people who gravitate to technology, we would love to get their input on various what we call nudges, friendly ways to remind people that conservation is important, efficiency is important, how you're daily using water is important, noticing a leak and reporting it is important. Yeah, you're right. We have busy lives and people have many things pulling their attention, and any help that we can get to elevate water issues in people's minds is really helpful.
Oh, that's great. Well, any final words of advice or thoughts for the Essay Smart teams?
I would say that if, you tell us, you come back to SAWS, you think about what you gravitate to. Do you like technology? Do you like education campaigns? What are you the most intrigued by? And then come back and challenge us and tell us what that is. And I would bet you that we can then find something that we would like to work with you on.
And I'm glad you say that because I feel like a lot of kids listening are like, "You don't really care about my opinion. I'm just a high school student." So what do you have to say to that?
I would say that you're going to be a ratepayer in a few short years. And so I very much am interested in what you have to say. Right now, the people paying the water bills are hopefully driving, caring about it. But people who are in high school right now are not that long from now going to be making those decisions for their community. They're going to be voters. They're going to be people who are owners of our water system as citizens. And so, yeah, you're our future. We need you to tell us how far we can take this.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Karen, for joining us, and lots of great ideas here for the students. Thank you.
Thanks.